What's going on, guys? Junior's Fishing Company with a fun little walleye jig today. I've got in the vise a Ahrex PR 374. This is a number 2. A little bit of a bigger winter walleye hook than I've used in the past, but I wanted a longer shank and a 90 degree. This is a 1/4 inch slotted tungsten bead, and I just put some lead on there just to make it a little bit heavier, for sure to stabilize this bead so it's not popping everywhere, but I just wanted to make it a little bit heavier without having to up to a bigger bead, because I didn't want that bead to be too big. This is a great hook. Ahrex just makes phenomenal hooks. This is a little pattern that I've just been messing around with. I actually tied one up last year and I'm just kind of getting back to it now. I'll kind of keep you in suspense until the end, but it's definitely one that I've never really tied or made a video on. I'm going to put for a tail on this. I've got these Tarantu legs from just Hareline. They're just barred legs. This is white silver, pretty cool color. I'll show you at the end one I did in like black and olive too. I've got 3 pieces of these legs, if I can pick them up. I've got 3 pieces of these legs, and I'm going to trim them now just to make it look a little nicer. I'm going to trim these even on both sides. The trickiest part about this is where to put the legs when you're tying them in. I'm just going to put them in right at the bend, and I'll put a little bit extra in there for when I'm wrapping, but it's kind of like putting in anything. If I just wrap this around and I just give it a good twist, it should center my stuff right in the middle. Obviously you can't really tell. You can probably tell a little bit more with the short ones. Those long ones are just going to hang off. I'm obviously going to trim those long legs. You could keep them like that if you want, but you have to be a little careful. This is kind of like a biad, where if you're right by the tail and you're really putting pressure on it, you're going to rotate those legs more than you want, and you really don't want to rotate them too much. And I want to make sure that these are down before I come in here, and I'm just going to pull these really, really tight and trim right on them. I even trimmed my thread a little bit right there, but I don't want, oh, look at that, just barely on there. I think my thread's going to break. That's alright. I'm just going to keep this. I don't want any of that rubber sticking out of there, and I'm going to end up wrapping over my little thread break right there. I can just push, well, I'll just do this. I'll just get my thread down and come back here, wrap up to my lead. When you're trimming close, you'll hit your thread, which is totally fine. I would rather have to readjust my thread than I'll actually maybe switch my bobbin if it's going to make this noise. Alright, so there's a new bobbin on here. Hopefully that doesn't squeak as much. I don't know why that was squeaking so much. I'm going to come back down here. I'm going to even this out because I do have a little bit of a bump from where those legs were to where my hook is, and I want this body, this is 140 UTC in red, and I'm going to build up a little bit of a body. I've got some sparkle braid that I'm going to put down, and there's a bunch of different, I've tied up a couple of these, and I've been using different materials for this body, and I've kind of, I don't know, I used an Orvis, what was it called, root beer colored pearl braid That one looked really, really cool. I'll show you that one at the end. Again, I'm just trying to build up a body here. And then I'm going to get my sparkle braid in. So I'm going to tie this in. I'll just start right by my head and I'll just wrap it all the way down, just because that's going to help build up some body too. And it'll add just a little bit of flash in there. But again, I'm not doing super touching wraps. I'm going to go all the way back to my tails or my legs. Then I'll come back up. So this sparkle braid is the midge in pearl. Again, I used the Orvis. This is just root beer. And actually, it was really cool. That root beer is kind of like a brown olive, but when you'll see in this last, when I show you at the end, it actually turned out to be a really cool olive because that UV totally made it look a lot different than what I thought it was gonna. So I'm gonna wrap this. Now I'm using red under this intentionally because when I get this UV on there, on top of this sparkle braid, it's gonna allow that red to show through. And I'm not doing super duper tight touching wraps on here. I'm leaving just on some of these turns just a little bit of that red. A little bit of that red's going to show through, and I'm running short on room here, but I'll be just fine because I'm going to end up tying in my feathers right here anyway. And so now I'm going to put down some UV resin. So I'm just going to, just for ease, I'm just going to whip finish this off, and I'll put my thread back on when I'm done putting this resin down. It's just easier to do it this way. I'm going to start with some bone dry, just because this stuff is just water thin, and it's just going to seep right in to this braid, and you can see how much that red shows through that. I don't know if you can see it quite as much as I can, and I'll just make sure that's kind of in there evenly, and I'll zap that. I won't do it for too long. It cures pretty quick. So I'll just give it a slow rotation, and this is why I trim my thread, just so when you're rotating it like this, you're not winding more thread or unwinding the thread you had just put on. So I'll cure that up, and I suppose you could probably just leave it like this, but I want to build up a little bit of a body. So now I'm going to put some thin on. You could go medium for sure too. This thin is just a little bit easier, in my opinion, to kind of push around. I'm just kind of randomly going back and forth. Then I can rotate this while I get my little tool ready. I'll use this one. And I'm just gonna, what I'm doing is, you gotta do this a little bit quick, because you don't want it, if you let this thin sit for too long, it'll run on you to the other side. And I'm just looking at this at all angles to make sure that it is evenly on there. And I'll end up putting another coat on this as well, but I don't want, just push that back just a little. This is where some people I watch are just masters at this. it's definitely a little bit harder than it looks to kind of place this on perfectly. And I'll just give that a little bit of a spin and cook that. And when you put this much resin on, it really smells. There are some people who are allergic to this stuff, but it definitely stinks when you've got a wad like this on there. When you put just on a wing casing or something like that, it doesn't smell much. But when you gob it on like this, it definitely does. So now it's starting to build up, and you can see right through how red that is. That's the reason I went with that. I'm going to go with the white feathers on the front, just because it's going to fold over that and it's going to cover up that red a little more, and that flash just looks really, really cool. So you could leave it just like this if you'd like. I'm going to put just a little bit more resin on there just to build up a little bit more. I forgot some kind of by that tail. Just a little bit more, just to build up a little bit of a thicker body. I had some little bumps there, just to build a little bit more on there. Then I'll get my thread back on. I'm going to get this hackle spun, and then I'll put some eyes on there. This is definitely a shorter tie than what I'm making it look like, just because I'm babbling. And actually, if I were to tie even more than a couple of these, I'd probably tie up to this point with 210, just because you're going to build that body up a lot faster too. So I've got this Herbert minor wet fly hackle in white. This is just a whiting. You can actually find some of these saddles for a pretty decent price, and they last just forever. So I've stripped off half of this feather, just because the first couple I tied, it was just a little bit too much feather, and I'm going to tie that right by where my resin ends, and I'll just make sure that that's wrapped down. I'm not too worried about where these hackles are going to go. I'm going to put those eyes down. I'm going to put some eyes down at the end of this. I just want to make sure that that's down there. And I'll just kind of wrap these. You can do as many. Maybe I'll fold these back just a little bit. You really don't have to, just because there's one. And I had some resin on my finger that did not taste very good. Right on top of one another. And these webby feathers make for a lot of fun. I'll just put that there, and that should be good. I don't want to put too much on there. I'll get a couple wraps past there. Maybe one more just for security. Then I'm going to come in here and trim this off wherever I can find a good little spot. And I'll get that all tied off, and I'll have just enough room for my eyes. And I'll wrap back just to make some room. When this gets wet, these will kind of stick. You can already see they're kind of sticking to that UV resin, which is fine. I want them to lay down anyway. I'm just trying to separate them out because the quality of these feathers, how webby they are, is astonishing. So I'll maybe wrap just a little bit more onto these to push them down just a little bit more. I'll have just enough room. I'm going to put down some 4mm eyes. You could go bigger. I put 5mm on a couple of them, but I kind of liked the smaller look of the eye. And there's a nice big red collar on there, if you want to call it a gill plate or whatever you want to call it. These are 3D holographic eyes, 5/32, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I believe that is about 4 millimeters. And the thing I love about these eyes is the pupil is just a circle. So you don't have to spend 15 minutes trying to get that eye perfectly on there. You can just push it on and call it good. I'm going to call that good. Right on the side. The hook is so far back there you're not going to have to worry about a hook cap or anything like that. Or the hook cap. Just putting a little bit of super glue on here. Just really to make them stick more than anything. Push that right there. Make sure that that's kind of on my thread as much as I can get it. And you can see after I trim these, it's a nice little minnow pattern, white with some flash. So I'm going to take this Solar Res Thin again, and I'm really going to try to avoid putting too much of this resin on to my feathers. That's just going to kind of harden them up. Just going to put a little bit on there. Maybe let that sit for a second, let it kind of run down. And I'll just cover that. But again, if you put a lot of this resin onto these feathers, the fibers, it's going to cause them to get stiff. A couple here and there is okay. And sometimes that might be what you want. But that is not what I want on this. Again, it might happen a little bit. And there's always a couple wonky ones. There's a wonky one on my side I'll end up kind of trimming off. Let that cure. And you can put a little bit of resin onto those eyes too. In a few videos I've put resin onto the side right here too. But again, I don't want to touch those feathers. I'm just going to trim this one off. It's just not doing what it was supposed to. So the length of these legs is totally up to you. You can leave them like that. I've kind of just been estimating, if you fold this up, you can see that's about a hook shank. Not quite, because there's a little bit on there. I'm going to go a little bit past that anyway. Maybe a shank and a third or something like that. It's an easy fix even on the water. I can always just, you know, if they're too long, if I'm jigging in the ice hole or whatever and I can see they're just too much or I'm getting nipped right here, I can just trim another 1/2 inch off. Everyone's got a pair of scissors in their pocket, so you can always trim them off a little more. But a really fun little minnow pattern. I tied up right before this little olive one, and this was with that root beer. So you can see this root beer has that green in it, but it looks really brown. But when I put that UV on it, it just got totally green, but a really, really cool looking green. A really like a holographic green. And this was with just some India hen saddle. But tie a couple of these up really heavy. It's going to sink like a rock with that UV on there. But with the feathers and the legs, it'll have a lot of movement in the water too. Fun little pattern. Junior's Fishing Company. Like and subscribe. Drop some comments below. We'll see you on the next one.